The American Civil Liberties Union is suing the Georgia Department of Corrections for violating the constitutional rights of deaf prisoners. News Channel 6's Ashley Bridges was one of the first reporters to have access to that suit. She brings us now the story live from Atlanta.
Most of you at home probably could not read my lips. Now imagine that's all you have to go by, and the consequences of understanding or not understanding may mean you go to jail or go free. That's essentially what happened to Jerry Cohen, the face case for a class action lawsuit filed just hours ago. When Jerry Cohen was cuffed, he lost not only his freedom, but the most basic ability to communicate.
And I was still handcuffed behind my back. People thought I was crazy, but all I was trying to do was communicate with them. I was trying to use body language.
Jerry did not have an interpreter at his arrest, when he was taken into jail, or when he signed a plea deal that put him in prison for a decade. Once he was behind bars, he says he was repeatedly put in the hole, that's solitary confinement, for insubordination after not following verbal orders.
It's very dark. You can't see. It's like extra punishment on top of incarceration. It's like abuse, really.
Imagine living in a world where you cannot understand what is going on around you, where people are telling you to do things that you don't understand and then punishing you for breaking those hidden secret rules.
Another plaintiff says he was told he could not have an interpreter because, quote unquote, English is the official language of Georgia, and he can learn to deal with it. The suit claims that deaf prisoners could not take the basic classes available to all other prisoners, classes necessary for parole.
Deaf people in Georgia prisons are in prison longer, essentially because they're deaf. This is not the kind of Georgia that I think most people want to live in. It's cruel, it's unnecessary, and it does nothing to protect our communities.
Hearing guys in there, and they can call their family, and they seem, joyous and excited to be speaking with their family members. But for us deaf folks, we have to wonder what's going on with our family members, and we're sad.
And it's not only about what deaf prisoners don't get to do, but what's done to them. Jerry claims his hearing aid, which allowed him to hear vibrations of loud noises around him, was stepped on and crushed by a guard. An internal incident report found it had, quote-unquote, no personal impact on him. He also says he tried repeatedly to communicate in writing.
These prison guards know that people like Mr. Cohen are deaf and they cannot verbally communicate. They can only communicate in writing. So if a deaf person in prison communicates through a piece of writing and the prison guard does this and throws it away, it's hard not to jump to the conclusion that they're doing this to be cruel.
Now, that case specifically alleges that the Georgia Department of Corrections violated the 4th and 8th Amendment rights of deaf prisoners, as well as the Americans with Disabilities Act. The attorney for that suit says that they aren't looking for special treatment, just the same equal access as everyone else. Since that suit was filed a few hours ago, I have repeatedly reached out to the Georgia Department of Corrections, but have yet to receive a response. I'll continue efforting that for you, as well as following this case through the courts. Live in Atlanta, I'm Ashley Bridges. Back to you.